Yep. Sorry, who is the Tulip interfaces recorded by Gong? Hey, Scott, good morning.
Good morning. Is it only you and
How
I?
are you? No, I think Delroy's here, and we'll just give folks a couple of minutes to join here.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, good morning, Delroy. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Hey, Jennifer.
Hello there.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Very good. Okay, we're just giving folks a couple of minutes to join here, then we'll get started. What's the weather like in North Carolina, Jennifer?
It's been amazing.
Oh,
So
really?
pretty. So pretty.
Oh, that's
Flowers
good.
everywhere, trees budding. It's really something.
Oh, nice. That's great to hear. Um,
Am I the
yeah.
only one who's jealous?
What, what was that, Delroy?
Am I the only one who is jealous?
Oh, no, yeah, no, I was pretty jealous as well, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and North Carolina is beautiful from what I remember.
Yes, it's been a long time since I've been there.
No,
Yeah.
I filled out the original form. Tell him that. Tell him to look up his form. You know what? I'll even look it up. I already sent it. Sorry. And muted. Thanks.
Okay.
I am micro.
I think there's enough people here that we can get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next session here of Office Hours. I'll start sharing my screen. Okay, we can get started. As always, if you have any questions at any point, feel free to stop me, but there's three things that we wanted to cover. Do you mind muting yourself, Mike? Oh, perfect. So there's a couple of things that wanted to cover today, and then as always, we'll open up to Q&A, and if I'm not mistaken, there's a couple of questions that were submitted, so we can look at those. But so the first thing here that I want to share is the app competition. So this one went live last week, and we actually haven't had any submissions yet. So, you know, at this point, if you just submit anything, if you just post any app that uses table queries or aggregations, you have a pretty good shot of winning. So basically it's, and I think actually I shared it last week, but it's, you know, you can win this nice water bottle that's Tulip branded. You know, we just want to see how you're starting using the feature table queries and aggregations. So, you know, as usual, all you need to do is a screenshot of the app, block out any sensitive information, and then submit your post here, and then, you know, enter to win. So it's table queries and aggregations this month. Okay, so that was the first thing I wanted to share. The next one that I think is quite important. It's a useful feature of Tulip that actually people that have been using it for years are not aware of. But it's table record placeholders. You can actually have 2 per app. So this is really important to know because people often think of table record placeholders as, you know, kind of like, okay, I have an app, I need to manipulate some data in a table, and I'll do it in a one-to-one relationship between the app and the and table. But what you can do is actually create as many links as you want between a table and an app, and then at that point you can, you know, simultaneously update multiple records or read information from multiple records, whatever it is, but you can do more than one, they have more than a one-to-one relationship. So I'll show a quick demo of that here. So first I'll open up the table, and this demo is basically just a, these are like 4 tools that I have, and that we want to track the number of time that they're being used. So I have the app here that basically, all I do is I can load in 2 tools. So I assume this is like a machine that has, like an end mill and something else. I load up tool 1 and tool 2. And you can see here every I can't remember what I put the timer as, but every X number of seconds, we'll see this update here. So I selected tool B and tool A. So okay, every 5 seconds, both of these tools are having time added to them because they're the ones that I've selected. So this is just incrementing time on a timer, but it doesn't have to be that. If you have 2 work orders that are being worked on simultaneously and you need to update them, you can do that. If you have an inventory table that you need to like subtract multiple items at the same time, you can do that. So you can do whatever you like. But I think it's important to like even think about like, okay, like when I have an app and I need to manipulate data in a table, what exactly, oftentimes people think about it in a one-to-one relationship, but it's really important to kind of go through and just remember, even if you don't start using it right away, just to know that that you can have multiple table record placeholders. So just to show you what it looks like, it's quite simple. So if you come in here into the records, we link the table as usual. And then the record placeholders, here's where you can actually add multiple. So if I want to add an extra one, I can just come in here and say, okay, tool 4, add record placeholder. And now at any point in add a new action, say, okay, table records, create or load record. I can do it by whatever, didn't actually do this. But here now we have the 4 tools. So these are all linked to the same table. It's called tools, but I'm manipulating 4 records at once. So actually, is anybody here in the call already using multiple table record placeholders on a single app? Okay, but it's just an important thing to. Okay, yeah. Looks like somebody's not using. Yeah, Jennifer's not using yet. I think it's just it's good to know. It's like yeah, just like whenever you're building apps, like keep that in the back of your mind. Like, okay, this is something that can be done that is quite useful to save time and like more effectively represent the process on your floor. Okay, cool. So then the last thing that I wanted to share today before we open up to Q&A is the Logbook bundle library suite. So this was released in release 14 that went out on Sunday, but this is a pretty exciting. So this is not unlike most of the other apps in the library that are just standalone apps. This is a whole suite. So this one here, basically, it's an equipment logbook. So if you have a piece of equipment, whatever that may be, on your shop floor that's running, that you need to keep a running log of any service that you do to it, any change that you do, any work that you do, any batches that whatever it is, like it's just like a running logbook of all the operations that are done on a specific piece of equipment. This is the app suite to use. So as with all the other apps in the library, it comes with really good documentation. This here is Gilad from the Tulip team who was involved in building it. And I'm not going to go through all of the individual apps, how they work, because it's I think this video does a good job of walking through it. But I just do want to show you briefly kind of how it's set up. So you go here, and here's where you can see the suite of the 4 apps. So the first thing on the left, you'll see the configuration and management of the equipment. So if you have a piece of equipment on your shop floor for which you want to create a logbook, this is where you can configure and manage them. And then on the right is actually where you can actually log information and track all the operations for a specific piece of equipment. So for example, if I get started here, I go into the equipment manager, and I can, the first thing I can do is I can add a piece of equipment. So I'll say, okay, what's the date today? 08 of April 2021. I'll just do office hours. It's going to be a type of, is a mixer. If you want to change this list, of course you can. Status, you can set it, when we first created, what do you want to set it as? We'll set it to clean. Location, again, we can also easily customize these. I'll put it in suite 3. I'll create a QR code if you want. This one's useful. I'll show you later why it's useful, but you can print this, put it on the machine, and then that way it saves time. The technician or whoever is doing logging information can just show up to the machine, scan it, and log information on whatever's happening. So great. Now, once we have that, we can see that the equipment has been created, and we have it here. We can also add a photo if you want. If you want, it's not necessary, but we can have it there. So then, once we have that, we can come in here and manage the logbook for this specific piece of equipment. So here it is. Now we have our equipment list. And you see, as I click through all the various pieces of equipment, I can see the logbook fields populate in this interactive table. So for this one, there's a bunch of fields that we need to get tracked, whereas for these ones, there aren't any. So I'll come in here into this equipment that was just created, this 08 April, and I'll add some fields. So here, for example, we'll say instructions. It's going to be a type of text. I'll add it. I can say 1, perform task A, perform task B, task C, something like that. Okay, you can upload an image. You can define whether it's required or not. We can update it. So now we see here that this piece of equipment has this logbook field in it. So when someone goes to log an operation for this piece of equipment, they'll see that field populate in. So then if we can come in here, we can also say, okay, signature, type is going to be e-signature, click add, text, please verify work and sign. I put something like that. Required, always required. Add a reason, we can say check equipment status or something like that. Click add, and it goes into this array here. Click update, and now once we go back to this equipment list, we can see that it's here in this list. So we're things are looking good on this. And a pretty simple logbook, but just want to show you how it can be done. Good. Now that we have that set up, so this is where I mentioned that having the QR code is useful because we can track it. We can scan it if we just show up and scan it, but I don't have the QR code printed here at home, so I'll just go into the list. I'll select it, and I'll go in to start logging the field. So here we have the two fields that we just created, so the instructions and the signature, and I can just start. So I'll log. I'll say okay. Verified, done by Geo, no anomalies, or something like that, whatever it is that you want to track. Click save, and now that's been tracked. And now we can come in here, and a supervisor or something else can come in, take a picture of the signature or edit signature step. We're signing for the equipment status. Here we can see the instructions that we added earlier. Click sign. Boom, I'll put in the signature, and there we now the app has been completed. So now at this point, we can come into the history for this piece of equipment, and we have all the information. We just have like a running list of everything of the logbook for this piece of equipment. We can see all the fields when they were changed, who signed for them, the user ID. All this information is tracked. We can filter it by specific time if we want to, but it's just a really good, simple way to track work that is done on pieces of equipment. So again, this is just like pretty high level overview that I wanted to share. This demo works as like way more detailed. The lab goes through you know, just kind of like details out all the different aspects. There's also a knowledge base article that walks through all the different things. So, you know, it basically outlines the purpose, the overview, you know, the apps that are involved, and has video here that was playing earlier. And also this one is 2 different videos. And then, you know, just kind of some high level instructions on how to set it up and how to run the applications. And of course, as with any other library app, you know, you can customize it to fit your needs. So if you want to click install, just come in here, put your URL. Yep, for sure. I can share the link, Jennifer. Actually, yeah, thanks for asking. It's there. And you know, just kind of like I wanted to share it because it's the first suite, or maybe actually, sorry, it's the second suite that we publish on the app library. But it's, you know, it's a really good solution that works kind of like all encompassing out of the box. And I wanted to bring it to everyone's attention because it's really quite powerful. So, okay, cool. I feel like I've been speaking for a while. I'm going to stop there. Are there any questions on either the equipment logbook app or anything else that was shared before that? Okay. Yeah. If you have questions, feel free to stop me on those topics. If not, we're going to open it up to Q&A from anybody. Feel free if anybody has a question on something that they've been building or you want to share, whatever it is, feel free to ask me questions. Okay, no questions whatsoever.
I have a newbie question.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Can you copy a step from one app to another? And if you can you demo that?
Yeah, it's not a newbie question. Actually, I've been using Tulip for 2.5 years, and I found out how to do this last month, I think. So yeah, I can definitely share how that's done. So if I come in here, basically you need to be in this step here, and then if you right click, if you hover over the step, you can see that the copy link comes up. So you copy it, and now if I go to another app, I can come in here, and now because I copied that one, I have both copy and paste. And so now if I paste it in the step number, this is a bit confusing because this app already had a number 2, but if I paste it in here, we'll see that it just pasted it into this app here.
So how did you get the copy paste to come up in the app you're trying to copy to?
So did you copy a step from the app that you want to copy from?
I have done that, and then it just kind of seemed to disappear. Like I'm like, okay, how do I get the paste button?
So you do have to right click.
Right click. Okay.
Yeah, right click, and not anywhere. You need to right click within one of these rectangles. You know, like if you right click here, you see that the paste doesn't come up.
Right.
You need to like right click on top of a step.
Okay, so I probably just didn't have my cursor in exactly the right place.
Yeah. So the cursor needs to be like basically like if I want to paste it here between the machine API and the date without time steps, I can come in here and paste it, and you see that it pastes it just below wherever your cursor is.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah.
That's helpful.
Yeah. What's the use case, by the way? Like, did you create a step, like a form step or something that you need to copy between?
Yeah, there's a number of apps that are like the first step is to scan a Kanban ID, and it's, you know, you just don't want to create it over and over. I just want to copy it from, you know, another app. So that's the kind of thing I was trying to do.
Yeah. So another thing that I've seen users do that works quite well, I think, is like they'll create, like, if every single one of your apps, you know, the very first step is asking for the Kanban ID, is like make a template app within your instance. like make a templates app within your instance, and then like every time you go to start a new app, you just like copy that one, and like that has like your whole layout and everything all set up.
Yeah, I am looking forward to the day that I get enough time to do that, because there's so much you can do with it. You can standardize your colors and buttons and where the buttons are placed, and just it's obvious that investing time that way is going to pay off in the future.
Yeah. So I think, did we add it? No, it hasn't been. Oh, maybe here templates. Maybe, or maybe it's gonna be next week that it goes out. Then
It's in staging right now. It's gonna get
Oh,
moved
it's in
to, yeah, it should be published at the end of this sprint.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, cool. Thanks, John. So basically, you were referring to the template, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
I think, yeah, what Gio's referring to is we're sharing our full UI templates for the library applications. So you'll be able to download not only just like the master layouts, but basically every single layout that you see on our library applications so far.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's exciting.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's like each app you'll see comes with like many steps, like 2 cards, like 6 cards, 4, like, the way that you see all the apps, like John was saying, in the library, like these layouts, they're all like a bunch of steps, and then you can just eliminate the ones that you don't need, or you can copy them between apps or do whatever you need to.
And just to plug my own work, there's going to be a user interface design Tulip University course published in the next 2-ish or 3-ish weeks. We're just finalizing it right now. But Jennifer, your question is there, like your concern is a really common one, that like understanding the functionality is one thing, but then knowing like where to put everything and how to like make design easier on your end is another. So we're hoping to help you out on that front.
That is very helpful. I mean, there's a balance, right? Creating your own look and your own design is fun to do, but time is so limited. We really need to be spinning up faster. So having that, having the strength of the work already done for you in the template is going to be super helpful.
Yeah, there's yeah, I agree. I mean, there definitely is a balance, like you're saying. Like I'm very much an advocate of like, okay, get it to like where like the users make sense to anybody who's picking up the app for the first time. Like it makes sense, and it's not counterintuitive or anything like that. I think once you reach that level, like more time spent on making it look, like making it pixel perfect, I don't think it's actually that good of, the time can be better spent elsewhere. So, but yeah, it's definitely like, definitely want to save, time as much as we can for you. So, yeah, I guess it's probably going to be next Sunday then at this point that the templates will be going out.
And that'll come out and you'll do one of the emails that says, here's the new, what's new with Tulip. I forget what the title is or the subject line is, but I watch for those because there's usually something good in there.
Yeah, the product newsletter, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's going to be in there. The one that I think the last one was released yesterday, right? Did you get one yesterday?
It was, I think it was yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, so it's going to be, it's published there, and it's also published in community. There's actually, it's first published in community, and then because that newsletter goes out once a month, whereas the community one goes out every 2 weeks. The actual post, sorry, not the newsletter.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think actually, not to go like too far down into, I think you can set up custom notifications if you want also in community, like every time there's a new post in a specific category or something. Yeah, I guess we can look into that later, but yeah, cool. Mike, I saw, by the way, that you had posted a question on community yesterday. about.
Yeah, mine wasn't very well formatted. I didn't talk the engineering or programming talk like Jason does.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
much better at it than me.
Yeah, it's been awesome to see. Jason has been asking some
Yeah.
great questions. Yeah. But yeah, maybe you mind describing a little bit more about what you're seeing with the
I
map?
can show you, and that's probably the.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So like, all right. You know if you can see that.
Yep, we got it.
All right. So I did a workaround. I don't know how I came about it, but I basically had to have a bunch of. I have a query in there. I guess I could submit that as working, but I'll show you how it actually functions and how the workaround. And I'm just not getting the right information. It's still functional, just it's not how it's supposed to work, I don't think.
Okay.
So what I was trying to do is what I'm going to show you. Put a truck number in, and then I got a button where it loads a EPICOR query, and then somehow clicking this makes this parts list show up as an array that can be read properly in those triggers I set up. And then my final action is you click this. Now this is a filtered list based on parts, based on this original. Like I said, I don't know how to explain how I got it all to work, but I just kept hammering away at trying stuff. And
Yeah.
I can show you the coding part. So it's a workaround. I don't want 3 steps, and I think there's probably a better way to do this. But if I show you the actual codes here,
Yeah. So
if I go to this screen, and this is my mess right here. That pops up. So that part was good.
okay, yeah. I just have a quick question about this. When you went to here, save the result as, do you remember if you did variable or array?
I clicked array every time, but I didn't see a difference in it when it actually came out in the test. It doesn't well. What I'll do the next step where I try to read it, and it doesn't give me that option. So
and you know what you have the connector function readily available that we can look at real quick, because I think and it's like it actually is like a really pretty confusing thing to understand. It's like, you know, depending on how information comes back in from the connector function, and then how you like select the output. And actually, I think we had looked at another example of something last week.
Yeah, I tried it both ways, where it was a list within a list or expanded, and I tried them both ways. It didn't seem to make a difference with the data. I've got so many here. I think this is the one I'm using.
This is awesome. I love seeing this.
Yeah, so right now it's not a list within a list. No. The output actually shows, you know, those strings. And I've tried it where I edited this and made it, I guess, an array or a list. I forget the nomenclature. And then it breaks them down individually.
And that still didn't work?
It didn't work for me to read it. If I go back to, there's one of these, I want to say, that was Jason's. So I think it's this one, the original one. Yeah, this is where I had all of them. And you can see there, I'll do this. You can see right here that they're actually list of values.
Yeah, but still.
And it didn't really help me because it just didn't give me the results.
Yeah, but I think the thing is here, like the parent is still an object.
Oh.
Yeah.
So how would I?
So if you go to duplicate this connector function real quick.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can just change this to yeah, just like text.
Oh.
Or, yeah, exactly. And now if
That was it. That's the whole problem.
Yeah, I think so.
gosh.
I mean, like I'm not sure exactly. Like there's, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the problem. Like depending on how you map it out in here in the outputs, it makes a really big difference. in terms of how it can be used in the app. So
So if I want to get, and maybe we tried this originally, we couldn't get returns. It takes a minute to return here. Although that does look like what we need. Now to add something, I would just have to add, so in this case, I would be adding, well, actually that worked fine just like that because it does it by, and then there's record 2. It's just a matter of, can I get, I guess it would be value. Well, I guess.
yeah, well, yeah, actually, yeah. So okay, so here it's adding the whole thing. So for here, for what do you want saved as the first one here? I guess you can just like change this from table 4 to just proj phase project ID. Copy that and paste that here after the dot value dot. Actually in here.
Okay. And I still need dots.
Yeah, exactly.
Then I'll just put. All right. And
Yeah, that selecting arrays and output. Okay. Wait, did you put the whole?
I thought I did project phase dot ID.
But I think the dot value dot is gone.
Oh, you still need the value dot.
Yeah. So actually, a really good tool to know, if you like hover over here, you'll see that you get the add to output.
Oh, yeah. I can just delete that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you just wanted to add one string. Okay, I see. It gives you
Yeah,
that.
exactly. But now you'll need to delete this 0. Yeah, because okay, and then make this an array.
Can't believe it was this simple.
Yeah, that out to output is a game changer. Actually, yeah, it's really good. Okay, now test it out. Cool. What?
That's because that's just the one field.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
If I wanted, I think I clicked too many times here. I did it again. All right, so that's just a truck ID. I kind of wanted all of this information though. So I don't know if I would be, adding it somewhere else to get all that.
Yeah, so if you can actually add, let's just like add to output the ones below that. So for example, here, yeah, add that one exactly.
So I'd have to go through here and just add them individually.
Yeah, exactly. And then you'll have a bunch of arrays in your app of whatever data type.
Okay. Well, will it keep it in order though? Like a 1-for-1 record, like, okay, 0 here. These are all going to be displayed, but they're going to be in order. They're not going to be shifted around.
Yeah, no, they'll be in whatever order they come back in here from EPICOR.
Okay. Wow, that, I'm going to have to go back and try all that because all the things I watched from the how-to videos or the templates all took me down this path that just didn't work because I guess object the whole time.
Yeah, it's it's actually really hard because like, kind of the web is pretty standard in terms of like APIs and like how they return data, but there are like some slight differences that like create like a lot more complicated kind of like things down the line, so like because the core like splits this up and it has like an array with an object named 0
Right.
and then a bunch of elements, like maybe like NetSuite, it returns, I don't know off the top of my head, but like it probably returns in a slightly different way. And so like it's very hard to like create standard kind of material. Like you just need to like go through and there's like tailor it for your need. And but yeah, like to be honest, like it just takes some time, like exploring the various options and.
All right, I'll go back and redo all of it, and then if it works, I'll post a specific topic with the problem and the solution, just so the next person that
Yeah, that'd be
report
awesome.
can see. Well, I'll let you review it first, but yeah.
Yeah, that would be
That's
awesome.
actually exciting. That'll solve my big problem. Like I said, I got that workaround, but it's not ideal. I need to do some more better. I don't want to have to click 3 times.
Yeah.
The output. So
No, yeah, that makes sense.
well,
Okay.
that's fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. This is great. It's good to see. Yeah, it was really good to see your colleagues post in the community, because it seemed like he's, yeah, cool. Okay, are there any other questions that folks have that we can help out with? Okay, Scott, Martina, no questions?
Nothing from me.
Okay,
I'm all good for now.
okay, cool, yeah, so, yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's always great to see everybody. I think, I'm trying to think, next week should be, I think it's a release week, so we'll have new features that we're sharing, so we'll do a couple of demos on those. Again, if people have been using table queries, I strongly recommend going to post in the competition, because especially if you post early, you have a very, very high likelihood of winning. So it's linked. It's not linked, actually. Let me just link it here before we all take off, because it's yeah, like I said, it's a pretty cool water bottle. It's highly coveted at Tulip. It was actually one of the last in-person events, I think, that we did, that we're giving away, but it's the last one. So if you're using table queries in any way, post them there and you'll be submitted to win the water bottle. But yeah, great. Thanks everybody for all the questions, and we'll see everybody next week.
Thank you, Gio.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.